Good afternoon. How are we all today? I hope we are all well. I'm just going to check that I am live where it says I am live. And no doubt we shall have the same issues of it freezing. I still haven't been able to figure out why. And yes, it's froze, but it sorts itself out. So I'm just going to carry on as normal. Right. So yes, I hope we're all okay. My name's Lisa, and I am the face behind Lisa's Loft. And I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, but I'm just here to inspire you and share with you what I enjoy doing, which is crafting, card making, scrapbooking, mini albums, lots of paper craft, 3D items. Don't make many 3D items, but I love doing them. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining me. Please do hop on, leave a comment, say hi if you're watching on the replay or over on YouTube. Yeah, do leave a message there because, or a comment, I do read them. Might not be straight away, but I do read them. So, right, I've just gone back and forth a couple of times and refreshed on Facebook, and it seems to be catching up. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on. So, last day of April, I've got a nasty, dirty spot on my glasses. Oh, there it is. Yeah, last day of April, which means it's the last day for our Capturing Smiles bundle. I ummed and ahed on whether to do anything else or whether to go on something new because I've got lots of new things that I want to play with. But I'm like, no, Lisa, come on. We're doing Capturing Smiles. So we shall carry on with that. That's better. I think they need a real good clean, actually. So I sat here and I'm like, right, what am I going to do? Not totally sure. But I decided that I would have a colour combo, and I remembered that the Global Design Project, their challenge this week, is a colour combo. So I thought we'd use that. There was a couple of things I wanted to say to you, and I can't remember. 5th of May, which is in like 5 days' time, the new catalogue goes live, so don't forget to check that out. We will also be having new kits come. So yeah, check the website on the 5th if you hadn't planned to already. And also, we're having a flash sale on the 2nd of November. 2nd of May. We're having, I think it's up to 20% off select memory keeping suppliers. I couldn't think of the word, then products. So yeah, 2nd of May, that's live. Right, so let me switch cameras and we will see what we're looking at today. Let's move my tea. So these are the colours that the Global Design Project have put out, and it's Strawberry Slush, Bubble Bath and Granny Apple Green. Really spring, summery, nice colours. So we're going to use those with our Capturing Smiles. And I have had a few ideas bouncing around in my noggin that I thought we'd give a go. So let me grab my stamp set and put that out the way. And we'll open up the dies because we will need the dies. Right, pop those over there so they're next to my magnet. For any of you that don't know, I use one of these now. there's plenty of others out there. Hi, Julie. Oh, he's going to be wanting you to do everything for him then. I get it. It stands up and it's a magnet. And I saw Sarah Sayers from Kiss Created. She had one of these. Because I'm always putting my dies down and losing them, or I try and stick them back on the sheet and I get annoyed because it's on, off, on, off. So when I'm playing, I have this on my desk, and then when I've used a die, I just stick it on them because I'll know I'll probably end up using it again. I can just get it on and off. So that's great, that is. And that's off Amazon. Like I say, there's others out there, but I like that one because it stands up. Right, so let me fetch. I think we're going to go with a strawberry slush background. Let me grab a piece. Okay, is that tight in behind? Julie, it's fab. It's the Sizzix Spellbinders one, and it's brilliant. Just put them all on and yeah, and then clear up at the end. Have I got a piece in my scrap actually? Aha, I have. I have a piece that was big enough, I think, in my scrap. So let me cut this down to a card front. So we've got 10 by 14.4 for our first layer. Get rid of that bit. And then I want my stamping mat. I thought today as well, when I was getting everything ready, I saw this and I was like, I really think I need to treat myself to some new scrap paper on here. And I will eventually. Right, I'm going to do it this way up. So let's turn that round. We're going to have our strawberry slush. So we're going to stamp tone on tone. I'm going to bring out my camera. And so I want my large block. So how are you feeling, Julie? Feeling any better, or are you still feeling rough? Such a shame that it's typical though, isn't it? You're ill when you've got something planned. Right, and I'm just going to add that at an angle, slightly up from the middle. There. I'm just going to stamp that down. Fab. And then I'm going to do one underneath, but like halfway, so offsetting it. Whew, it's making my eyes go funny. I'm sorry if you've got my head in shot, but I do need to line it up like so. But yeah, that was really making my eyes go funny. And then we'll have another one here. Trying to keep them square to each other. And another one here. And this is the good thing about photopolymer stamp sets. You can line them up because you can see. Yeah, I am going to not line them up directly. So where that one comes to isn't the same as above. So they are a bit staggered. I think that will be better. I've missed a bit there, but I'm not going to worry about it. And that up there. Beautiful. And then we'll have one at this end. Yeah, my eyes really aren't playing ball today. I'm really struggling for some reason. And we'll just have a little bit there to finish that off, and down here as well. There we go. Lovely. That does look a little odd there. So let me see if I can fix that. I've just missed the very end, so it doesn't end, and I've got to say it's bugging me. So I'm going to mask that off. I'm going to leave the tiniest amount just so that I can see where it needs to go. Ink that up and try. Fabulous. There we go. That's better. It was just really bugging me that I'd missed that. So I'll give this a clean, just because it's here. And I'm going to want it again. And I'm not sure what colour I want to do it in. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to add a camera on here. So I'm going to do my camera in, I'm wondering whether to go Granny Apple Green and really make it out there, or Bubble Bath. So let's grab a piece of each, shall we? And see what we think. Where's my Granny Apple Green? I can't. There it is. I'm not sure if that's big enough. It is. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for it. Yes, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? Got some pieces of that. Granny Apple Green. And what was the other one? Bubble Bath. And let's see which one we want. If I did the camera of that and had that on it, I'll do my camera of that and have that on it. Or I could just do some accent pieces out of that. All right, so we want a camera, and I'm thinking I might emboss it. No, I'll do strawberry slush. Good, good. I hope you've got this gorgeous weather. I did have the door open, because I've got my French windows right next to me, and I had them open, but it's a bit windy again today, and everything was going flying. I had to shut it. It's the only thing with having paper and card, everything flying. Right. I'm not sure I like that. We'll see. Let's just give that a wipe. You know, sometimes you look at something and you just think, not quite sure. Even though strawberry slush and bubble bath go lovely together, I am just not quite sure about that. I'll stamp one in bubble bath as well. Though with using the Granny Apple Green, I think the strawberry slush one is possibly going to be the one we go for, because it'll stand out better. Right, let's bring in the larger machine today. Oh no, raining. Hope it clears up and the sun comes back out again before the weekend. Oh, I know they've said we're possibly going to have rain Saturday, I think they were saying. Sure, that's when it was. But it's typical, isn't it? Bank holiday. So we know it's going to be nasty. Right, just turn that round, because when you put your dies through your die machine, you do want, where possible, not to have such a long straight edge for the rollers to go over. It struggles more. I mean, it would be better if I went in diagonally, but I'm too lazy to cut my piece of card. So I just turned it and I've got a smaller edge then. Just helps. Sometimes it can struggle over a large flat. Let's chop that one. And even though I might not use both for this card, I've got it then if I want to use it for another. Let's pop that on there. As I said last week, I was supposed to be looking after my friend's dogs for the weekend. Julie, who some of you see on here, well, you don't see, but you see her commenting. She was here. I think she might have popped off. But unfortunately for her, plans have changed. So I've got a weekend at home now. And I'm like, what shall I do? Bank holiday weekend. And I'm not sure what I fancy doing, to be honest. There's lots of things that need doing in the house. Lots of things that need doing in the garden. I'm not sure if I want to do them. Right, so let's just see. So that's with tone on tone bubble bath. Or we can go with the strawberry slush. And I've got to say, I am thinking strawberry slush. It needs that stronger. Then we need our other pieces of our camera. So we need to grab that piece and that piece. And I think I'm going to put a looking good inside it this time. So I'll need some dies. Oh, excuse me, I've got a bit of an itchy nose. I need that one, and then I'll need that one for the sentiment. Right, so are we going to do a green on it, or I think that piece is big enough. Let me see if I have another piece of strawberry slush in my scrap box. For those of you that don't know, anything that my cards are smaller than half an A4, I have in a really useful box. And I have dividers in each, and I have each colour in there, and they go in the right one so that I can find what I'm looking for. And I find that really handy. So we could go, no, definitely needs to be Granny Apple. Pink just gets lost. So let's stamp our Granny Apple for our frame. Well, our front. It's not a frame, is it? It just looks a bit like a frame. Could use it as a frame. We've got our Granny Apple piece there. And then I want, am I going to put a bubble bath? Yeah, I'm going to put a bubble bath round with strawberry slush. I know I'm talking slow. That's because I'm thinking as I'm going. That there. And then in the centre, we're going to have a circle of, I think I might do it white and stamped in Granny Apple Green. I don't know if that's big enough. Yes, it is. That's some cardstock that I printed onto. Can't remember what I was printing, to be honest. And then cutting up. Can't think. But I was using the cardstock to print onto. And rather than throw all the edges away, I keep them and use them as scraps. Oh, I do know. It was my colour coach. I was reprinting my colour coach. Onto cardstock. So yeah, that's what that is. I knew there was something. Well, obviously there was something. Right, we'll have a mini machine for these. That on there. I'll take that there, so that's more or less in the centre. And then if we grab this and put it at an angle so it helps, line that up. I find this one a little bit more tricky to get right than the actual camera. I think because it's smaller, which you would think larger would be easier, but no. Right. Okay, and if I put them on the wrong, but that doesn't matter. We can have them on that one. Let's swap that back over. Use that one. So I'm going to be having a buy one get one free on my pre-loved retired items that are on my website. I'm going to set it up over this weekend, so keep an eye out for that. That's going to be going on. I need to make room. I have lots of products that are retired, and I can't keep everything. I don't have the room, unfortunately. I would love to. Someone up here. It's typical, isn't it? Please do bear with me. No, I'm not interested, thank you. Thanks, bye. Sorry about that. Somebody coming round offering their gardening services. Does that tell you what my front garden looks like? It does need doing. We've made the lawn. That's about it. I was watching a programme yesterday and it's house renovation. Just on YouTube. And they showed you what the house was like and then what they'd done to it. And it was lovely. And then they showed you the outside. Some things on the inside they'd had to like not go for this as a higher end as they would have liked because of the budget. They did the best could, but the front they spent a lot of money on mosaic tiles for the pathway up. It was a Victorian property, and they were saying, curb appeal, you've got to put the best out there, blah blah blah. It's what everybody sees, and I'm the opposite. I don't care about the front of my house, really. I don't have to look at it that often. I spend more on the back of my back garden and spend more time on my back garden because that's what I see. My front garden, there's a few plants in there, not masses, and they're just shrubs really that come and go. We've got a tree that's coming that needs getting down, but Hayden won't let us chop it down because it's a crooked tree. But yeah, that's all that's there. But yeah, I'm just totally the opposite. Totally the opposite. Shut that. So I understand why they've come knocking my door asking me if I need garden services. I mean, my back garden isn't pristine either. It's very natural cottage garden almost. I've said before, I've got rotting baskets, broken baskets in my garden, or did have, I think it's totally rotted away now. I've got an old pair of vintage scales, I've got car parts that are that are just there. Yeah, it's very rustic, to say the least. But I love it. It's the way I like it. And yeah, that's where I spend a lot of my time now. Especially now the weather's picked up. Dimensionals. I'm just fixing this together, lining it up, and then I just pop the dimensional overlapping the edge and the center, and then that holds it together. And I've really got something in my eye because my eye won't stop watering. Though I have been told that I've possibly got a bit of hay fever because I've had sinus issues and an itchy nose for a few weeks. And yeah, my eyes run. Right, so I'll pop that on there like that. And then we can pop that on there. Fab. But do I want to keep it quite simple? Or do I go? No, I think we are going to keep it quite simple. And I'm just going to lay that flat. Oh. I mean, I was thinking add some greenery and to make it a bit more. But no, we're going to keep this one simple. It's just straightforward stamping and die cutting. All right, then we need a sentiment. No, we don't. We've got a sentiment. There's me thinking we need a sentiment. But I mean, you could put a happy birthday on there. So I had to pick some sentiment. So I picked the Simply Said. This is in Last Chance, and I absolutely love this. We could have that in there if we wanted. But honestly, I'm not sure we need it. I like it as it is. Just simple. Need some embellishments. So let's see what embellishments we've got. Those are the wrong colours. We have clear. We have the dark. We have some strawberries that are totally irrelevant to the actual thing, but they're the right colours. Or I do have the strawberry slush flat pearls, which I'm not actually sure. Let me check if they're still available. Or if they've gone now. Or if they're carrying over. I never know. Oh, they're carrying over. So we've still got those. That's nice to know. And those are the Sunset Sparkle, but they wouldn't look. The pearlescent ones. Or we've just got our rhinestones. Decisions. What to use? I think we'll leave those because even though they would look really cute, it's just nothing to do with it whatsoever, is it? I don't want clear. I'm not liking that against that. Not looking right. So it's either the iridescent or the... I'm going to go strawberries, I think. I'm going to put one on and we'll see. And if not, we'll go for those iridescent. I don't know if it needs something sparkly, you see. I just love them. But finding the right place might be harder than I think. Oh, I could see the dog, but no, it's the cat. I really, they're just quirky. We've got strawberries. No, why not? What's wrong with having little strawberries on there? They are super cute, but they're not right for this, are they? They look adorable, but they are not right. Alright, okay, let's go with these because these will pick up the pink, which is really sweet. So this is the thing now, placement. I pivot about with my placement. There we go, that's better. They go better. What of a sequin there. Okay. Oops, come on. I saw Patty Bennett, who's a fabulous demonstrator from Australia. No, US, isn't she? She shared some storage tips, and she gets some storage things like our stamp storage, but smaller for her embellishments, and they're more substantial than the back packets that they come in. And I think I need to get some of those. I think that's what I'm needing. Right, so let's have a card base of bubble bath, I think. I don't have any cuts. Let's score this in half at 10.5. And then we'll put it at 14.85. Somewhere around that. Put that up against the edge so I can get it straight. Okay. And we can pop that on there. I'm liking that. It's just simple. clean. Okay. So middle for our card, because I like to put a middle in my cards, even if I'm doing it on white. And I think we'll stamp the little camera on the inside, just to follow that through. And we will do it in strawberry slush. Yeah, it's a gorgeous colour, this. It's actually one of my brand colours, because it's an older colour that's returned. And I picked it as one of my brand colours, and then it returned, and I was like, that is fantastic. My other main brand colour is retired, Tempting Turquoise. I need to bring that back as well. Oops. Right. Stick that inside. Okay, so fab. Love it. Really simple, really clean. All right, shall we do another one? I quite fancy doing a bit of Emboss Resist. So let me grab a piece of cardstock. I'll have a normal layer, and I need my stamping mat, and then I need my embossing buddy, my white embossing powder, because I want to do it in white, and I need my Versamark ink. What this is going to look like, I don't truly know, but I just fancy doing it. There we go. That's just to get any static off, any oils off our fingers, so that the embossing powder doesn't stick where we don't want it. Just finish my tea, nearly finish it. Ugh, cold tea. Why do I always end up drinking cold tea? Now, I think I am going to do the shutter, the lens, that clean. Let's grab another block. I'll use that one. Clean that, put that on there. And the little camera. We've got the shutter, the lens, and the little camera. And I am going to randomly stamp these on here. Now I'm going to alternate between them somewhat, so that I know I get some of all of it. Some of each of them without them overlapping. Now you won't be able to see, but I can just about see. If I hold it or look at it correctly. Another camera to go there, and then a shutter up there, and then we've got a shutter there, so I want a lens. Might end up doing half, and then oops, doing the other half after. Shutter, lens. Up the top we have got, I need a shutter in there. Oops. And then part of a lens off the edge there. Camera. And there. Shutter. Here. Camera. There. Shutter. You will be able to see it soon, I promise. Lens will be worth the wait. Let's go to shutter. I've got all three of them nearby there. Camera. Lovely. That's the camera, so I need a lens there. Off the page. And we'll go a shutter there. Right. Let's see how well my eyes have done for this. I'll just cover this in embossing powder. So the Versamark is just a sticky clearing. It helps somewhat if your Versamark pad is used and a bit dirty, because you can see better where you've stamped, which isn't an issue if you're using coloured embossing powder or white. If it's not too dirty, white's fine, but if you're going to be doing it in clear, then obviously that's no good. Right, even though I use my embossing buddy, I've still got some powder where I don't want it. I'm just going to use this brush, which really I could do with a slightly smaller brush in here, but it's okay. I can get in and just brush off those excess peel. A bit more there. Right. Now let's heat this, and then we'll be able to see how well I've done at getting it somewhat equal. Now, I found the other day I was doing this, and I've always said you can heat it from top, you can heat it from bottom, which you can. But I found, the other day, heating it from the bottom actually worked better. I was getting a neater melt, if you like. So I'm now heating mine from underneath. Just seems to melt it a bit more evenly. I don't get so much. It looks a bit smoother. But exactly the same as normal. I'm just watching it melt and I'm just chasing it along. That's the only problem with doing it and not being able to see. I forgot which way I've done my cameras, and most of them are actually going works the same way. So that's not a problem. Just in case of that. My head was leaning further. Further. Turn that round so I don't burn my fingers. That's it. I don't know if you can see. I think you can see it better from there, actually, can't you? But there is actually bits on there. Right, we're going to do some blending. So I'm going to bring my glass mat that away. Paintbrush on the floor. Put it in there. Right. So I need a pink brush, which, where's my scrap so that I can just see? Yep, nothing on that. And a green. This might have, yeah, quite a bit on it. I used it. Let's get the majority of it off. I'm not fussed about making sure I get every bit of green out because we're going to use another green, and it's a bright green. Gone over some embossing powder with that. It won't hurt. Right. I'm going to start with my lightest bubble bath. And if I grab the little that comes with my mat, that'll go on there and it won't slide about so much. It just makes it a bit easier for me. I'll dab off on my mat and then I can brush it on, and then I can pick that ink back up just so that I don't put too much ink on to begin with. We can always add more, but you can't take it away. I'll just take some off and then go in. How pretty. I don't know if you can see that on there. I love this technique. I think it's fabulous. But anything to do with heat embossing, I love. Okay. I think that's as much. I'll do a bit more because I can always go over the top of this with the other colours. I'll hide this colour quite well with them being darker. All right, there we are. That's our bubble bath. Then I'm going to go in with our strawberry slush from this corner. I can use the same brush. And I'll definitely dab this up. You'll be able to see more with this colour what I mean. See how it's catching and leaving some big, and you can see the brush marks almost, but we will get rid of that. Don't worry. As we blend it. See how nicely that's blended. Just put in light pressure when I get to where I want it to blend. And all that ink, if I hadn't knocked it off, would have been on here and it would have just covered the lot. There, just so it's a bit of a neater fade. Yeah. I'm going to add a touch of the green. I'm going to leave that as it is, and I am going to bring in my green now. Like I say, I only want a touch. I'm going to put a little bit on there, and I'm going to do it over here. I'm not bringing in any of that pink. I'll just bring that in like so. We always start off our piece of cardstock so that we can blend it in and bring it in. Otherwise, if you go straight in, you end up with a blob. If I am doing a blend for a background that's just to highlight behind an image, I will start in the middle, obviously, because I don't want it at the edge. But I'm hiding that with an image, so if I do blob, it's okay. It'll be hidden by the image. Right, I'll just blend that out a bit. And as you can see, it's going a bit of an orangey. So I want to be careful not to blend too much more there. But I want to blend it out properly. I just want to make that a bit more green. There we go. I think I'm happy with how that looks there. I want to add a bit more pink of the strawberry slush down here, actually. Just so that all the dark isn't just down that side. It's a bit darker in that corner. There we go. That will do. Yeah, like that. Right, so let's put our brushes over here, close our ink, move our mat, grab our chamois, wipe this, and it all just wipes off. I mean, before I had my glass mat, I used to do it on grid paper, and you can do that. It works just fine, but obviously you can't pick the ink up once it's soaked into the paper, whereas it stays moist on here and you can pick it up again. And you can't clean it off. It's paper going in the bin all the time. And yes, it can be recycled, but why do that when you can use something that doesn't need, that's reusable rather than recyclable? Using it. Look at that. We're just giving it a light rub, buff with an old tea towel, and it just gets rid of the ink that's on the embossed images. And there we have a beautiful background. How gorgeous is that? Love that. Right, so then we'll make this into a card. And I'm sure, do I have? Oh no, it's brown. I thought I had a black die cut of this, but I don't. It's brown. So I'm going to do a couple of those in black. And we'll have those for our card. I love creating backgrounds. It's fun. You get to play with colour, and also you're never quite sure exactly how they're going to turn out, and no two turn out the same, which is nice. Something I haven't done for a while that I need to do again is my blends and alcohol inks. An alcohol spray. I like doing that because you never know how that's going to turn out. You've got very, very little control on that. Putting it on a block and stamping with it. That's another nice way to create a background. There's so many things I want to do again. You forget, or I do. You do a technique and then you do something else, and you forget about past techniques. And then you're like, oh, I need to do that again. And gosh, I haven't done that for ages. Yeah. I know I go through phases of things. Of late, I've been using lots of designer series paper in my cards, whereas I never used to. It wasn't something I used a lot of. But because I've got the paper, I am making a conscious effort to use it. It's no good having it sat there. You're not going to use it. Right, so we can have a couple of those, just like so. Like that. And then I want a happy birthday. And I do want a happy birthday for this or something along those lines. And I've got, I think it's too big. I was looking at the Layered Thoughts, which is a lovely large happy birthday that we have used a few times, but it's too big because it's bigger actually than what's there. So if we bring out, so I'm just looking on my shelf what I've got. Bring out the Simply Said, I've got a birthday wishes. Or thinking about it, and it's something really quick and easy, which might be even better, is the Greetings for All. Mix and match. We've got Oh Happy Day. How simple is that? We can embellish that. Sending hugs. No, I don't think it's a sending hugs. You did it? Look at, oh. And I think that's just because it's just square. The best wishes, I think, is a bit small. It needs something like, and there are some white ones as well. Nice large. Thinking of you, no. Sending sunshine's they're quite the shutters look like beach balls. But no, I think I like that. Okay, Michelle. Thank you for joining. Yes, you have a lovely week. Yes, do. And I hope the weather cheers up for you for the weekend. Enjoy your bank holiday. Bye. Right, so I'm going to have that on there. What I'd really like is some silver twine or something. Now, do we have anything? Because I forget what we've got, what we haven't got. No, we haven't got any silver twine. I have lots of silver twine. And you know what? I'm going to use some of my retired silver twine. Sorry, people. But we've all got stashes in our craft room of products. Do I want a thicker Simply Elegant or the thin. I think this might be a bit heavy, but we'll see. I just had it as a faux bow kind of. No, I like that. So yeah, I am going to use some of this. Let's get rid of that. Just going to fold it roughly-ish to a bow shape. Check it behind there. Yep, that's about the right size that I want. Hold that. Grab me some tape. Tear off a little bit of tape. That's a good thing with this tape. It is tear and tape. So you can do it with one hand. Stick that on there. Chop that off about there. And pull that down a bit. Add that up a bit. Love it. So yeah. I am going to make another conscious decision to use up more of my stash. I've got lots, as we all have. Any crafter has got lots of stuff. So, where I will be sharing new products with you, especially stamp sets and papers and things like that, I am going to be using a bit more of my stash for things like that, where it's something that we haven't got a current one of, like we haven't got any silver twine. So I brought in that retired one, and that's what I'm going to do. And plus, it's a fly. I can't afford, I'll be honest, I can't afford to keep buying everything that we've, well, I've never been able to afford to buy everything. But yeah, I can't afford to buy everything that we have. So using up what I've got will help. And we've usually got something that's an alternative you could purchase if you really wanted to. Oh, happy day. Do you know, again, it's a simple card, isn't it? The layout is simple. What's there is simple. It's the background that took the time, and then adding the rest is simple. Now, do we go for a coloured card, or that's not, I thought I'd got just a scrap of black big enough to show what it would look like on black, but I haven't. I have a piece of white, so we could have it on white, but I don't think that pops at all. We could have it on black, which does look better, or we can have it with black on white, or we could go totally out there and do a colour. What will strawberry slush look like? Have a look. We did it on strawberry slush. We've got strawberry slush. I quite like the strawberry slush. because that blends in, but those stand out. Oh dear. Bubble bath. But then again, bubble bath is nice. And we've even got Granny Apple Green. I'm sure I can find it. Come on. Why won't anything go where it's meant to go? Granny Apple Green. So now I'm thinking we could go white on green. Quite like that. Softens the green, allows that to pop. Yeah, not liking that. I think I'm going to go white on green. Just a very thin of each. Yeah. Get rid of all these colours. I've got our green. And then I need to cut a white layer, because that's our standard size, so I need it slightly bigger than that. Got a piece here. If I do it 10.2.5, and then 14.6.5-ish. Let's see what that does. That gives us a nice little border all the way around there. And then we'll get a nice little border of the green around there. Let's pop this on to our white layer. Like I say, there's no right, there's no wrong. You know, just because I do something one way doesn't mean you have to. Just because I like something one way doesn't mean you have to, and it doesn't mean that's the right way to do it. Have a play, that's what it's all about. I mean, sometimes I'll look at a card and I'm like, yeah, I know that needs a so-and-so base, or that needs a layer of this. And other times, mostly when I use colours I don't use, and when I use a few colours together, I have to try it. You know, pick the card up, try the layers, try the base, and see which they will all work. If your colours work together, they will all work. No matter what colour base you put out of white, black, granny apple green, bubble bath, strawberry slush, they will all work. It's just to your eye, some look better than others. Right, I love that, and I think I'm going to add some bling to it as well. We're going all out. I'm going to go rhinestones. Right. So I've got some little and some others. We can have a large one here and a medium one here, and then that's not a medium one, that's a little one. I'm going to put a little one next to that one. So we got 3. Right, because they're together, count as one, or they can count as one. So we've still got our 3. Love that. Sometimes simple bling rhinestones is all you need. Right. So that, oh, I haven't done my inner, have I? I haven't got one cut either. I've used them all. So let's cut another layer of 10 by 14.4. Put that little scrap in the bin. And what shall we put in our corner on here? We can stamp I'm just looking at what we've got in the stamp set. Oh, happy day. Looking good now. That's not really for this photo. Love this smile. No. Could just do smile. I think we're going to do the camera again. I know we've used the camera quite a bit, but that's what works. And we'll go bubble bath for this one. Bring in my mat. And we'll just stamp that square on. In contrast to what's on the front, because everything's higgledy-piggledy on the front. We'll keep that straight. And then put that on there. Now, I know I said I wouldn't be here this evening, but I will be here this evening. And we'll be creating a scrapbook page. What I'll be using yet, I'm not 100% certain. Will I be using this? Possibly, but I might try for some. I might bring in some other stuff. I've got lots of things that need finishing off, kits. So yeah, we might finish one of our kits off instead. So there you go. There is our 2 cards from today, using colours from Global Design Project, their colour coordinate combination, which I really love. I think that looks fantastic. Very happy with both of those. Clean and simple, but with a little bit of technique, especially to this one. That one's simple stamping, isn't it, on there, and die cutting. Doesn't need anything else. And then we embossed and blended that one. So thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, leave a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe if you'd like to. That would be really helpful. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel. So yeah, and I'll see you this evening at 7:30 if you're about. If not, I will see you all next week, and have a lovely bank holiday weekend, and I hope it's dry for everybody. So I haven't even changed my camera around, have I? I'm just talking away. So yeah, have a lovely weekend, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.